Yeah, the Ganoderma is the same genus as reishi. So reishi mushroom that you buy maybe in capsules for horrendous prices is Ganoderma lucidum, and this one here is Ganoderma Applanatum. It is a species that you find over Asia and Europe and so on. However, here in New Zealand we seem to have a bit of a subspecies, which potentially is its own species. But anyway, at the moment it's called Ganoderma Applanatum. So it's a conch, it's a very hard mushroom, it's a polypore. And here in our forest in the north, it grows only on Canuka manuka to some degree, but it does like a lot our koi trees. So you are familiar with koi, but this is a young side shoot of the same tree. You see, these are the koi leaves, and they look almost identical with the leaves of the white cedar and the mahogany in the Amazon. So they are all related in the family of Meliaceae, the mahogany group. And this is an older tree. You see it got stressed. The tip was broken off, then it tried to form a new crown, but then it probably had the spores of that Ganoderma already settling in there and then filling up the trunk. It tried to make some new side shoots because on the outside the tree is still alive, even so in the center it's occupied by fungus and it's dead. Outside it's still alive, but it's struggling now to survive within the density of the forest, and therefore it became prey to our Ganoderma, whose job it is to just speed up its disappearance, so that other trees that have more chance here, that are healthier, that are not broken and so on, come up again. So this Ganoderma is now finishing its life cycle. Yeah, it starts getting a lot of moss on the top, so you can see it's already a bit older, and we like to harvest it. We also propagate it. It does grow well on Tasmanian blackwood and some other wattles, so we cultivate it as well, but we haven't produced any yet. So meanwhile we still rely on supply of the forest, and it is quite nice, fresh still. It's beautiful specimen. Yeah, you can see the mycelium is right into the tree, so maybe that side shoot stands a chance, but quite likely it will take over the whole lot. These Ganodermas are mildly parasitic, so if a tree is stressed they can take over the living tissue, but usually they don't affect healthy trees. Yeah. So here our little collection from our forest that will keep us going, mixing that 50-50 in our coffee every morning, and that probably will keep us going for the next 2 months. And how we do that is we grind it with a special woodworking tool into a coffee-like powder. That's how we do it. And here's another artist conch at the base of another koi. Next to it you see a little mahoy, but this one here is already a bit rotten on the top. I think I mess on that one, but on the same tree we have a young one here, so that's a very young one. Here the tree is sort of leaning very much into the valley. It wouldn't have a future. That is pointing almost horizontally into the valley, so it sooner or later will break out of the hill. So just show you how I ground up that mushroom. So this is the little one I didn't grind up yet. When they are fresh and moist, they're easy to grind up, fairly easy, but you need a tool, something like that. It's a woodworking tool with tungsten spikes on it. We put it on an angle grinder and then grind it off like so into a box. And from that mushroom that you saw on the tree, that's what we got out of the one mushroom. It's very light sawdust, makes a very light dust, and it's perfect for putting in percolator. So you put it in like so, and then put another 50% with coffee, so in this case here organic decaf, because we had already too many today. And that's that. So the interesting ingredients in that mushroom, just like reishi mushroom, some of them are water soluble and some are water and fat soluble. So apparently this Ganoderma from our forest, the Ganoderma Applanatum, has the same triterpenes that reishi mushroom has, which is fairly rare amongst mushrooms, and that is meant to be one of the main anti-cancer properties in reishi mushroom. And then of course it's full of beta-glucans, as all mushrooms are, but these mushrooms have a higher content than other mushrooms, so it's all more concentrated. And what this does in coffee is it adds another flavor component to the coffee that complements coffee. It's sort of a bit of a bitterness, a bit of a sweetness to it, and that goes very well with coffee. And apparently the coffee works well as a vehicle for these components to enter your body as well. And it tastes nice and makes it cheaper coffee. So that will last us for probably a month, 2 months easily. And we need to dry it a wee bit because it was still fairly moist, so we don't want to have it go moldy, because mushrooms can get mold. So there we go. So see if you find them yourself in the forest. Yeah, for us they grow mostly on koi. Occasionally you find them on Manuka canuka, and on some exotics like certain acacias you find them. So keep an eye out for them. It's a nice way of hunting in the forest, and it's quite a rewarding thing to do. So have fun with it, and yeah, that's how we do it. So, how does it taste? Goes well together.